Welcome to Elderly Wisdom, the place where age is not a weakness, but a quiet strength. Here, we celebrate the beauty, power, and resilience of growing older. Our goal is simple: to uplift your spirit, ignite your confidence, and remind you that every year added is a badge of honor, not a burden, whether you're in your 60s, 70s, or beyond. This channel is your companion on a journey toward graceful aging, purposeful living, and inner peace. If you believe life still has so much to offer, you're in the right place. Now, let's dive into today's message. You may not always see it in the mirror when you wake up each morning and glance at your reflection. You might notice the lines etched into your skin, the way your eyes sit a little differently than they once did, or the softness in your jawline. But those are not the things that define how gracefully you're aging, because grace is not something that shouts or demands to be seen. It doesn't need spotlights or compliments. It exists quietly, steadily. Within you it lives, in your patience, in your compassion, in the subtle way you approach each day with wisdom earned through years of living, learning, and rising again. You are aging gracefully in the way you've learned to take life as it comes, in the strength it takes to move through discomfort, to wake up with a stiff back or aching knees, and still find a reason to smile and get dressed to greet the day with softness in your heart and calmness in your breath, to continue loving when love hasn't always been easy, to continue trusting when trust has been broken, to continue showing up for life in your own way with less urgency, but more meaning. Your grace is in your presence, not your appearance. It's in the way you hold a conversation with genuine interest, not trying to outshine or outperform, but to understand and connect. It's in the way you give your full attention to others when they speak, how you've mastered the art of listening, not just with your ears but with your entire being. People come to you now not for trends or quick answers, but for quiet truth, for the kind of wisdom that doesn't change with the seasons. You are aging gracefully in the way you've stopped measuring your worth by what you own or how many people applaud you, and instead have found value in who you are when no one is looking, in the way you dress for comfort and confidence, not competition, the way you walk into a room not seeking to be the center of attention, but to bring a gentle warmth with you wherever you go, in the way you no longer feel the need to impress, because you understand that authenticity always outshines perfection. It's in the subtle decisions you make each day, to prioritize peace over pressure, to choose rest when your body whispers instead of pushing it, to shout, to say no without guilt, and yes without fear, to honor your time as sacred, to protect your energy like it's gold, because you know now how precious and limited it truly is. Everyone will notice how your grace shows up in stillness, and how you've learned to slow down, to savor the small things, like the way the sunlight hits your favorite chair in the morning, or the sound of birds outside your window, or the deep satisfaction of a good book, a warm meal, or a phone call with someone you love. Your grace is in how you've come to realize that these simple moments are where the soul expands and the heart finds rest. You are aging gracefully in the way you've grown more forgiving, not just of others, but of yourself, in how you've stopped blaming yourself for past mistakes and started embracing your humanity, your journey, your growth. You see now that life is not a test to be aced, but a path to be walked with courage, with grace, with acceptance. You are not trying to be who you were 10 years ago or 20. You're becoming who you are meant to be now, and that is powerful. Your laugh is deeper, more genuine. Your tears are softer, more meaningful. Your silence is richer, more intentional. There's a new rhythm to your life now, a softer pulse, a clearer beat. You're no longer racing to keep up with the world, because you've discovered the peace that comes from marching to your own drum. You don't just speak to be heard anymore. You speak when your words matter, when they carry purpose, when they can uplift instead of wound, when they can heal instead of harm. And that is a rare kind of beauty, a strength that doesn't roar, but whispers with clarity and care. Not everyone will notice the way you've mastered the art of letting go, how you've loosened your grip on the things that once controlled you, the need to be right, the fear of missing out, the obsession with staying young or keeping up, how you've learned to release the weight of other people's opinions, the impossible standards, the need for constant approval. You've realized that what truly matters cannot be seen by the eye, but felt by the soul. You are aging gracefully in the way you've cultivated your own joy, how you've stopped waiting for happiness to be handed to you and started finding it in your own hands, your own heart, your own home. In the morning breeze, the smell of coffee, the laughter of a grandchild, the way your favorite music fills the room with memories and magic in the stories you tell. and the wisdom you share even when no one is asking, because you know that every word you speak is a piece of a life well lived. You don't chase youth anymore. You embrace the now. You've discovered that there's power in presence and simply being, where your feet are, and noticing what's in front of you, not what's behind or far ahead. You've learned that comparison is a thief and peace is a gift, and your grace shows in how you guard your peace like treasure. Your life is not about proving anymore. It's about being, not about doing more, but being more mindful, more loving, more true to yourself. You no longer feel the need to compete, to compare, to convince others of your worth, because you know now that your worth has never been up for debate. It's not in your age or achievements. It's in your essence, your heart, your resilience. Are aging gracefully in the quiet strength. You carry the kind that doesn't need applause to feel valid, the kind that shows up in how you comfort others in their pain, how you remain grounded in chaos, how you respond with patience instead of panic, how you understand that everyone is on their own journey, and you've stopped trying to control or correct, because you've chosen compassion over criticism, understanding over judgment, and love over ego. Your grace lives in how you've come to see aging not as something to fight, but something to welcome, as a new chapter full of depth and beauty and discovery, in how you've accepted that not every door needs to remain open, not every relationship needs to be held on to, not every season needs to last forever, in how you've become lighter by letting go, freer by forgiving, stronger by softening. You are not less because you are older. You are more aware, more connected, more alive in ways the younger version of you never could have imagined. Your face may have changed, but your light has only grown brighter. Your pace may have slowed, but your purpose has deepened. Your body may have aged, but your spirit has soared. And that is the quiet miracle of living fully and aging gracefully. Not everyone will notice these things, because the world often measures beauty in filters and speed and noise. But you, my friend, are living proof that there is another way, a softer way, a wiser way. And those who are paying attention will see it. They'll see the way you make people feel safe simply by being you, the way your words calm the room, the way your energy brings ease. They'll see how your presence speaks louder than any trend, how your eyes carry stories not everyone can tell, how your smile says, I've been through things and I'm still here. So whether others notice or not, you can rest in the truth that you are aging gracefully in every word you speak, every step you take, every lesson you carry, and every moment you choose to live with intention and love. You are aging gracefully in ways you may not always recognize, because your strength now wears a different face. It is quieter. It no longer needs to prove itself through big gestures or loud victories. Instead, it shows up in the way you carry disappointment, in the way you hold space for your own healing, in the gentle courage it takes to keep moving forward. Even when life feels heavier than before, there is something powerful about the way you wake up each day and choose to participate in life, even with the aches, even with the weariness, even when no one is watching or cheering you on. It takes strength to keep loving when love has sometimes broken you, to keep believing in goodness when you have seen the harshness of the world, to continue offering your heart to the people around you when you've known loss, betrayal, and silence. Your grace shines in your ability to love anyway, to show up with an open heart when it would be easier to stay guarded, when you choose to see light even after darkness has visited your doorstep. You are aging gracefully in your ability to live in the present moment. You've learned the power of now, not because you read it in a book, but because life has shown you the cost of always living in the past or chasing what hasn't arrived. You have seen how regrets and worry steal your peace. So you have made peace with the past and loosened your grip on the future. You focus on what you can touch, hear, feel right now, and that mindfulness is a gift you give yourself each day. Your grace shows in the way you've learned to let go of things you once thought were essential, the desire to please everyone, the urge to fit in, the pressure to meet expectations that were never yours to begin with. You are learning to release what no longer feels true, what no longer feels aligned with who you are becoming. You no longer hold on to what drains you, and that makes space for the things that fill you with peace, joy, and meaning. You are aging gracefully in the way you have become more forgiving, not only toward others, but toward yourself. You have stopped punishing yourself for not knowing what you didn't know before. You stopped expecting perfection from a soul that is here to grow and evolve and stumble. You understand now that mistakes were part of the path, not deviations from it, and that your imperfections are threads in the fabric of a well-lived life. There is grace in your patience, the kind that does not come quickly, but is shaped over years of waiting, over years of learning, That timing is not always yours to decide. You no longer demand immediate results, because you trust the slow unfolding of life. You have learned that some things cannot be rushed. Healing cannot be forced. Wisdom cannot be hurried, and trust cannot be manufactured. You have grown to respect the pace of life rather than resist it. Your beauty is in your resilience, not in a loud, flashy way, but in the steady, quiet return to center after storms. You have weathered more than people know, and yet you still offer kindness. You still choose love. You still hope. That speaks volumes about your character, about the depth of your soul, about the kind of woman you have become. Your experiences have not made you hard, they have made you holy. You are aging gracefully in your priorities. You no longer chase what glitters. You seek what is golden. You value a peaceful evening more than a crowded party, meaningful conversation over shallow chatter. You treasure connection over attention, presence over popularity, solitude over noise. You would rather be alone in truth than surrounded in pretense, because you have learned that your energy is sacred and not everything or everyone deserves access to it. There is grace in the way you protect your peace now, how you no longer tolerate drama, how you walk away from things that feel wrong, how you listen to your intuition, even when logic tries to argue, how you know deep within your bones when something is not for you, and you honor that inner knowing, that unshakable voice that has grown stronger with time. You are aging gracefully in the softness you bring into the world. Your words are gentler, your gaze is kinder, your presence is more rooted. People feel safe around you because you've stopped judging, you've stopped fixing. You've learned that holding space can be more healing than offering advice. You offer people your calm, your presence, your understanding, and that is more powerful than anything else you could give. There is wisdom in how you navigate relationships now. You no longer seek validation. You no longer need to be chosen, because you have chosen yourself. You've stopped measuring your worth through other people's eyes and started seeing yourself clearly through your own. You know that the people who are meant for you will never require you to shrink or pretend or abandon yourself, and that realization has brought you the freedom to show up as you are. You are aging gracefully in the way you embrace your body, not as something to fight, but as something to honor. You may no longer chase youthful perfection, but you cherish strength, balance, health, and vitality. You stretch when you can. You move when you're able. You rest when you need to. You no longer see exercise as punishment, but as a gift to your future self. You eat to nourish, not to control. You breathe deeply. You slow down, and in that slowness you find yourself again. There is grace in how you've made peace with aging, how you no longer see it as something to resist, but something to celebrate. Every wrinkle tells a story. Every gray hair marks a chapter. Every year is a line in the poem of your life, and you wear it all like a crown. You no longer hide from the mirror. You see a woman who has endured, grown, bloomed, and softened all at once, and you recognize her as powerful. You are aging gracefully in how you live your truth without apology. You speak up when something matters. You stay silent when it doesn't. You don't waste energy trying to convince or convert. You allow others their beliefs, and you stand firm in yours. You live with integrity, not to impress, but because peace lives there, and peace is something you refuse to sacrifice anymore. Not everyone will notice these changes, these gentle shifts, these soul-level transformations, because they're not flashy, they're not loud, but that's the beauty of it. Graceful aging isn't about turning heads, it's about turning inward and finding a home within yourself. It's about the light you carry, not the labels you wear. It's about the way you make people feel when they're around you, calm, safe, seen, heard, and valued. You are aging gracefully in the way you cherish time now. You don't rush through your days, you savor them. You pause to notice beauty in the ordinary, the laughter of a child, the color of the sky, the sound of leaves, the joy of being alive. You don't take these things for granted anymore, because you've learned that moments are the true wealth of life, and you're rich in them. You've stopped chasing more and started embracing enough love, enough beauty, enough grace, enough breath. You don't need to have it all. You just want what matters, and what matters is already within reach, already here, already unfolding. You are aging gracefully in the way you carry hope in your eyes. Despite everything you've been through, you still look ahead with wonder, with curiosity, with courage. You still dream, you still learn, you still love, you still laugh, and that resilience, that openness, that willingness to live fully, no matter the number of candles on your cake, is something no mirror can reflect. But the soul can feel. You are not invisible, you are invaluable. You are not past your prime. You are in your power. You are not fading, you are becoming, and that transformation is sacred. It is rare and it is beautiful. Not everyone will see it, not Everyone will understand it, but you do, and that is what matters most. You are aging gracefully. Because you are still growing, still stretching, still softening, still showing up for your life. With open hands and a brave heart, and that is something. Few will notice until they've walked the same path, but you don't need them to see it. You just need to live it, so keep walking your path with grace, keep loving yourself. As you are, keep honoring the woman you've become, because you are not just aging, you are blossoming, unfolding, deepening, and radiating a light. That is only possible through time, through experience, and through the unshakable choice to live with grace.